Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to the month of February. It is Marvel versus DC month. Yes, we're going to be going head to head. Marvel versus DC Comics. This is basically going to be which one is better overall when it comes to the content that I'm talking about. The MCU movies will not be included here because that would be too easy. I mean, I'm not going to put like Avengers Endgame versus Justice League because that would make no sense. I've already reviewed those. This is going to be more their shows, cartoons, and some of the films I've from Marvel that have not been reviewed on this channel, so I can get it out of the way now. We're starting with the double header now. One TV show over the other. One is both have started on streaming services, and now you can watch them on your TV. Wandavision versus Stargirl. Yes. Which one started first? Stargirl. But WandaVision was always meant to be a web series, not a like TV show on like the Disney Channel. There's going to be 5 components for each single round. First is cast and the characters, not all of them, just the ones we've seen so far. Writing, action, special effects and visuals, and the overall entertainment value. So that way we can figure which better. So let's start with the characters. Stargirl versus Wanda. Now, Wanda, we've seen her ever since, the ending of Winter Soldier. We saw her powers, and she didn't say anything, and she just crushes things. And then in Age of Ultron, we got a taste of what her powers can do. In Stargirl, I will say that the origin is a little bit too slow. Like, you start with, you have a freaking Breck Bassinger's character. What was her name? I forgot her name. It's been Courtney. She goes to high school. She looks like a high school student. And then she finds the wand and, the wand of power. And she doesn't even get her costume until the second episode. Here in WandaVision, I'm going to talk about that because I don't want to talk about all the MCU movies. She already has she has a very beautiful dresses and, like of the times of the 1950s and 1960s. It's very, very, elegant and retro. And even though it was black and white, when it gets to color, you can see more. And you don't have to wait an hour for that to happen. And also the other characters like Vision, I prefer him over the guys in Stargirl because there's like 2 guy characters that are interesting. You have Luke Wilson, and then you have this guy, the guy that gains strength for like he has the hourglass. Yeah, him. He's interesting too because of his backstory. But in WandaVision, Vision has a more interesting plot. He was made from the Mind Stone. He bonds with Wanda. They have great chemistry on screen. I didn't really get that loving with Stargirl and the guy that was in the show because they're not really together. So they felt a little distant for me. And that's just my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree with me. So round 1 goes to Marvel because Wanda, and WandaVision has been 4 episodes already, and yet I felt more, and it got to the point a lot faster, and the characters just meshed well with me. Don't get me wrong, I like the characters in Stargirl, but I have to get to know them more because they didn't even form until like the 5th or 6th episode. When they the first episode, you introduce the characters, and then later you have to see each character's backstory, the cat and the hourglass and all that. But it took too long. Like here, it's bam, 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 bam. You get to every character in like the first few episodes, and it's way better. It has better character development in such a small time. So point goes to Marvel. Next is writing. Ooh boy, this is an easy one. WandaVision's better. I'm gonna say it right off the bat. It's funnier. It's shorter. The pacing is much faster. The characters are very charming. It's cute in moments. The laugh track makes me laugh too, and it has a lot of colors. Stargirl, my biggest problem with the writing is the freaking pacing. It takes 45 minutes for something to happen, and there's just a lack of action sometimes, and the characters, they just talk too much. I want less talking and more things happening. Even though WandaVision is more of a comedy, there's still things happening every minute. It's not like we have to wait a half hour for something to happen or we have a lame-ass villain. Here, in Stargirl, the villains sucked. Let's face it, the villains were the biggest problem I had with the writing. They wrote them as cartoon characters, most of the villains. In WandaVision, we're going to get to the real nitty-gritty villains later on. One of them is Catherine Hahn. I know she's a witch, but we haven't gotten to her yet, so I'm not going to talk about her much. But in the writing, it also goes to Marvel. Because, again, they're writing 30-minute episode over a 45-minute episode that has 15 or so minutes of padding. I'm sorry, CW. I can't wait forever. I need for things to happen quicker. You don't need 45 minutes to do a drama. It's an action superhero show. Let there be action. Let there be laughs. Have a lighter tone. It has a light tone, but again, Maybe in the second season they can improve. But for now, in the first season, WandaVision's better. The writing is way more fluid and it's more, quick. Even the last episode with Monica, it went by quick. You had her reappearing and things were happening. You had the portal scene. That's an action scene. And when she gets blasted out of reality, that's things happening. It doesn't take until the end for that to happen. Marvel, they always have a better pacing. Okay, next, action. DC will win this one because, we haven't seen a lot of action in WandaVision. But the action scenes in DC's show, it was fun. The opening of Stargirl was spot on. You had the heroes, the JLA, or the JSA, not the JLA, the JSA fighting the freaking villains, and that was a good scene. Any scene with the robot or Stargirl fighting with the wand, that's cool. I like seeing the team together, like halfway through the show, and it did have more action, but it needed more action in the beginning. The first half of the season was a little bit too slow. But in WandaVision, we haven't really seen like a grand action scene, like an MCU style action scene yet. That'll probably be in the final episode. But so far, I say that what the action that is in Stargirl is better. So DC gets that point. Next is the special effects. This one is maybe a tie. I don't know very well because they both have different budgets. So you have the MCU style web series budget over the TV budget in the CW. Now, yeah, I do like the visual effects in WandaVision. They're breathtaking, beautiful, colorful, and I love the special effects when they don't use a lot of CG, which is a good thing because most of the Marvel movies, the third act usually is a grand spectacle of a lot of CG and visual effects. But the visuals in Stargirl, they also have their merit because, the visuals in Stargirl are a TV budget, but it looks really good. The staff looks really cool. I like the visual effects when they're using their powers. I like when they showed Solomon Grundy as a CG Hulk-like creature. I did like the lizard creature. The makeup effects look really good. Both shows are tied when it comes to that. I'll give them both a point. That's a tie. Both visuals are really... I like the looks of both shows. And the lighter tone helps both of them, especially after what we went through last year. And Stargirl was one of the only DC shows that was around last year, during the whole freaking COVID thing. So I would give it a tie. Now, overall, which one is the better freaking show? What did I get more entertainment out of? Let's see. Stargirl, I waited only a couple of months after the CW shows ran dry. Flash, Supergirl, etc. And Arrow ended, so that I'm not going to talk about. That's not going to be on this list because I haven't finished Arrow. But with with WandaVision, there's a reason why it wins. And no, it's not because of my bias of Marvel. I had to wait 18 and a half months to get a freaking Marvel fix. There's only been 4 episodes on Disney Plus, but I had to wait over a year and a half. That wait was killing me. And what we got was a lot of laughter, a lot of charm. The Marvel tone, seeing that Marvel logo again on the big screen, I'm like, oh my god, I missed you so much. With DC, it was very hit and miss for me last year. I loved Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I hated what they did with the Flash and Supergirl with their filler seasons. I really enjoyed Stargirl, but again, the villains and the freaking pacing and getting to the good stuff took way too long. With WandaVision, they gave us exactly what we wanted. We got Wanda and Vision in a sitcom environment. We got new characters. We got Monica Rambeau. We have the Asian guy from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Catherine Hunt is adorable with her smile and talking like this. I like the overall feel of WandaVision more than Stargirl. I know, sacrilege, I get it, okay? But here's the thing, hear me out. WandaVision had the better batting average because with Stargirl, they had almost twice as much episodes and there was a lot of filler in the middle. You could have easily done... I didn't need to see a villain in a coma for 4 episodes of WandaVision. In the 3rd episode, Monica gets, figured out, and Wanda blasts her out of the wall. If you saw WandaVision, this is going to have some spoilers, so don't tell me in the comments you spoiled the whole show. No, there's only been 4 episodes. But that's what happened in the last episode before, the blip. In that, Wanda knocks her out, and then she goes into another reality, back to her reality, and she wakes up in a hospital bed, and some time has passed, and Monica's older now, because it's the same girl from Captain Marvel. In Stargirl, it's way too many flashbacks. There's just way too many. That's one thing I prefer from Marvel over DC. They don't have to oversaturate you with flashbacks. That was the biggest problem with Wonder Woman 84, which I'm not going to talk about. I already reviewed it last year. you got to stop doing the damn flashbacks. Not every DC show needs to go back in time and show you what happened. You can start the show as a flashback, but don't have a character sitting down and then they have a flashback. It doesn't need, it's just exposition, and we already know. If we read the comics or heard about the characters, we don't need flashbacks telling us a story. Show, don't tell. WandaVision does more showing. That's why it's better, and Marvel wins this round. So Marvel gets 1 point. And I know this is going to feel like a little bit rushed, but, overall, I just enjoy it more. I don't hate Stargirl. It needs some improvement. But WandaVision, it might not get a second season. And if it does, well, this is going to go throw everything it has in one season. And I like seeing Kat Dennings back. They bring back a lot of people we saw from the past that we can embrace. They didn't have to show 15 flashbacks. The only episode that was kind of a flashback was the last one with Monica, because when Kat Dennings shows up and she's with the Sword members, she's seen a bunch of footage from the first 3 episodes on TV. So that's the only stock footage you see. But overall, I think it's more entertaining. It's shorter and it's more to the point. And even though it's not full action, it knows what it is. It embraces itself, and it doesn't have to set up the next season like these other CW DC shows do. So WandaVision wins this one. So tell me what you think in the comments. Which one do you think you think is better? I still prefer WandaVision because we had to wait so much longer for this than Stargirl. And originally Stargirl was only going to be a DC streaming show, but because DC lost the rights or whatever, and they had to put it on the CW. Yeah, now that app is pretty much going to be useless because all their shows are migrating to HBO Max. But WandaVision's still the better show. Overall, I had less problems with it, especially with the leads. I just was enjoying it more. I was laughing my ass off. It didn't drag. It didn't have a bunch of flashbacks. The black and white look of it was really nostalgic. The opening credits and all that was really, really cool. I love the meta, commercials that they did where they have to reference Hydra and Stark Industries and all that. It made me more of a fan. And with Stargirl, hopefully the second season will be better than other stuff that we've seen from the CW. But, WandaVision is the better show overall because, it didn't have a lead that was talking out of her ass. And also Elizabeth Olsen's older than Breck. So I'm always going to go after the older chick over the young lion, just in this case, especially because I know what I like. But anyway, that's my first round of Marvel versus DC. Marvel wins the first round with WandaVision beating Stargirl, DC Stargirl, not the Disney Plus movie. And because, like I said, I just enjoy it more. I know, sacrilege, there's only been 4 episodes. I know what I'm getting, and I'm loving every second of it. There wasn't one moment in WandaVision was like, you know what, I wish that was cut completely. No, there's not really a lot of that. Maybe a few seconds here and there, but it's nothing like, oh God, can you please get to the action, or can you please throw a joke in there? No, Marvel knows what to give me. Plus, I got to see more skin on freaking Wanda, on freaking Elizabeth Olsen than I did on Breck. Breck wore pretty much just jeans, those blue shorts, and she's basically a female Captain America, guys. I wouldn't say a ripoff, but close enough. Except that instead of a shield, she has a staff. But in this case, yeah, Elizabeth Olsen for the win all the way, man. She's my Marvel girl. I love her, just like Captain Marvel. And let's hope that DC can catch up this time because there's still some hope here. Because I'm not going to be biased and say, oh, Marvel wins the whole thing. No, I want to put the plus and minuses of each show. WandaVision doesn't have as much action, but what it does well, it does really freaking well. Stargirl has the action, but there's too many flashbacks. The villains suck, and it's a little bit slow. So hopefully we'll see what happens next. So next time we'll get to a movie of Marvel vs. DC. So thank you guys for watching, and take care.